are in a very significant disruptive period of change that probably will go on at least for a decade. And that will create numerous new challenges that will require us to rise to a new level of response.
It's not simply a shift from a system view to a network view, but more of a shift from a mechanistic view to almost a quantum view, one where there is a recognition of, and frankly an embrace of, uncertainty.
You don't want to fight the rate of change. You can't control it anyway. It has nothing to do with what you do or don't want to do. The only thing you do is isolate yourself.
I believe we're at a really unique point in human history, that in many respects it's nothing like this has ever happened before on the planet Earth. The population of human beings has absolutely exploded over the last 100 years. Plus, multiply those people times the impact that they can have through technology. It's unprecedented. Nothing like that's ever happened before.
My colleagues and I have called this the new era of the fundamentals. They are water, land space, biodiversity, healthcare costs, a whole range of issues. Climate change is one of those. The truth is that technical approaches to resolving each of these knocks onto the other.
And we need to get back to the real heart of innovation. And there's been so much hype surrounding the idea of innovation that we've forgotten the real point of innovation. It's not just to create new stuff that destroys value. It's to create better stuff that creates value.
The GDP says that if I sell my roof of my house, I have a splendid income. At the same time, it will rain in my bedroom. So the GDP, in terms of progress, as we measure, is terrible.
So we have to redefine progress. It's got to be ecological, not just health and cheapness. Maybe it's going to be more expensive.
I think what's kind of going on is that we undercount the cost of destruction, if you like, and we overcount the benefits of creation. And so we get that basic equation of capitalism about creative destruction wrong.
Now we have had a very strange thing, because we have had something that looked like prosperity, and in fact, you can't call it prosperity. There was growth all over the place. But underneath, it's the same problem as the 30s. Finance capital was still calling the shots, and production capital was not free to expand fully to all the potential that it has.
Capitalism 3.0 is driven by a higher level of awareness. It's driven by moving from ecosystem awareness to ecosystem awareness, which means that you begin to see the whole and the health of the whole as the main frame of reference that all the decision makers and all the participants in a larger system are operating from when they make their everyday decisions.
In the 20th century, problems got solved by very centralized, very small groups of people, whether it's in government or in elite business kind of boardrooms. I think in the 21st we're going to see, often through these new kind of collaborative tools, not just 100 or hundreds of people, but maybe thousands, and if not, ultimately even millions of people getting involved.
So we are truly at a crossroads in terms of figuring out, first of all, how do we include the entire human community of 6.5 billion in the capitalist dream, and how do we do so in a way that doesn't destroy the planet in the process?
It is a true transformation of the way we live and work, and it's going to be a real fundamentally different 21st century than 21st, and the main thing that's driving is climate change.
The environmental problem is inherited from mass production. Mass production is the source of our environmental problem. So the way to solve the environmental problem is to divorce ICT from mass production.
All indicators are that the planet is changing much more intensely and much more quickly than we had even projected a few years ago. And yet, all of the political choices, all of the economic choices seem to be happening more slowly than anyone who's paying attention wants.
Cradle to Cradle is a system which allows to have even 10 billion people on this planet because it makes everything beneficial instead of less bad. There is no waste anymore, no zero waste, it's everything nutrient. And so it's a beneficial agenda because it celebrates human creativity.
If the choice is between catastrophe and doing something radical, the only alternative is to do something radical.
Traditionally, people talk about eco-efficiency, which means doing things right. Effectiveness means what is the right thing. So think about falling in love with somebody efficiently. Think about Mozart or Van Gogh being efficient. Everything in life which is really nice is not efficient. Why do you want to be eco-efficient when nature is not efficient but amazingly effective?